high school at one time.
Tyrus?
What I saw,
Yeah.
what it looked to me like he was negotiating with a deaf prostitute.
Gavin Newsom is now calling his city's homeless encampments unacceptable, which is odd since he's the guy who, made them acceptable, turning sidewalks into red carpet events for drug addicts, thieves, and unemployed CNN anchors.
Picture this. You flip on the TV expecting standard political analysis, but what unfolds is pure television gold. Greg, Gutfeld, and Tyrus transformed their set into ground zero for what can only be described as a masterclass in unfiltered commentary. Gavin Newsom walked into what he thought was a casual appearance and left as the centerpiece of a political roasting session. This wasn't your typical back and forth. It was a calculated dismantling, wrapped in humor but loaded with substance. They examined every angle of his record, questioned every decision, and left his carefully crafted image in tatters on national television.
Here on this table called this first, that to get any action done, you may have to get the politician to feel the pain of their own policies intimately, and he got it right in the guts. Because I predicted In-N-Out was going to be the catalyst because it's his family's favorite restaurant. And when In-N-Out closed, that was a direct shot at him because you could BS the public, but you can't BS your kids who are now wishing he had gotten recalled because they could have their burger. The intensity of pain that a public endures is based on the time that it takes the Democrats to start acting like Republicans.
Gutfeld approached the conversation like a prosecutor who'd spent months building an airtight case. Tyrus? He delivered the kind of unvarnished truth that feels like it's been bottled up for far too long. The audience's reaction was immediate. Waves of laughter mixed with gasps of disbelief. Production staff exchanged nervous glances. And you can bet Newsom's communications team was already strategizing damage control before the segment even ended. The critiques hit with surgical precision, as if every word had been chosen to expose something Newsom hoped would stay buried. California's mounting challenges, from housing crises to exodus of taxpayers, became ammunition in this televised showdown.
To say, yeah, he literally goes, I want some of this, and you do some of this, and I'll do some of that back to you, and then we'll do this, and then I'll pay you, and then we'll do it again.
True.
And then she kept saying, no. Okay, how about this? You do this one first, then we do this one, then we give a little back and forth.
The stage was set, and there he was, Gavin Newsom, California's poster child for aspirational politics, clearly envisioning his next big move on the national stage. He had no idea he was about to become the subject of an impromptu reality check. His appearance was impeccable, every detail suggesting confidence and control. Then, without warning, Gutfeld and Tyrus unleashed a commentary assault that felt less like political discussion and more like an intervention. This wasn't gentle ribbing between colleagues. It was a full-scale examination of credibility and competence, broadcast for millions. They peeled back the polished exterior, revealing contradictions and complications underneath, like unwrapping a gift only to find it's mostly packaging.
Cities to ban the camps from sidewalks, parks, and other public areas. So after years of denying the problem, he's now pretending to fix it, which is like putting on a condom as you're leaving a whorehouse. Who hasn't?
What's a condom?
But as always, when a far-left Dem runs for national office, he acts like a Republican. This is where the left is really pro-trans. Suddenly, they grow balls.
Nothing remained but shattered confidence littering the conversation. Picture someone walking in convinced they're the most informed person present, sporting that rehearsed grin and manufactured modesty, only to discover everyone else arrived equipped with documentation and zero tolerance for spin. Newsom appeared lost, while his hosts operated with complete awareness and devastating focus. The exchange was absolutely merciless. Newsom has presented himself as the ultimate political package, all polish and promotional energy. He advocates for equality, while frequenting venues most residents couldn't afford to approach. Gutfeld arrived wielding documented failures as weapons. Tyrus brought undeniable real-world perspective. Together, they systematically dismantled every carefully constructed talking point. What began as light-hearted banter quickly escalated into something far sharper.
You can't, it's not his words when he speaks.
Yes.
You have to watch him closely. And some genius decided not to film him any lower than the shoulder.
Yes.
So what did he do?
You couldn't see the hands.
No, but he sent Morse code.
Yes.
Go back and watch it. Look at the blinking. Blink, look. Meet me at the house. Like, he's blinking. He's sending, I'm getting there. Hey, just so you know, I'm not wearing pants.
The transition was swift. Humor transformed into precision instruments. Wit became weaponized, and Newsom shifted from politician to real-time cautionary example. Gutfeld methodically cataloged California's failures, like presenting courtroom evidence. Homelessness converting neighborhoods into tent cities, businesses evacuating en masse, crime statistics resembling fiction, tax burdens driving even the wealthy toward other states. Yet Newsom maintained his confident facade, as though none of these crises connected to his governance, as if repeating progressive terminology could somehow erase visible dysfunction.
Gavin ponders why Dems lost.
We lost the popular vote and we lost the electoral vote. We got crushed, and we need to be humble about that, and we need to have some grace.
Is it because of Israel? Yes. Interest rates? Yes. Too woke? Yes. It's like every bad policy that trickled up to the White House during the Biden administration started in California. That state is responsible for the worst politicians in modern history. And he is at the top of the list, and there are some ignoramuses on that list.
While problems escalated, real people continued struggling, visible throughout San Francisco streets like invisible citizens. Gutfeld refused to overlook it, essentially demanding accountability for documented failures. This transcended clever commentary. It became genuine confrontation. Then Tyrus joined in, measured, composed, physically imposing. Volume wasn't necessary for impact. His observations carried such weight they could unsettle experienced politicians under studio scrutiny. This wasn't debate, it was accountability delivered live. Tyrus projected intellectual depth combined with undeniable presence. When he spoke, everything shifted, as if the room collectively recognized something significant was happening. No theatrics, just crystalline reality, plainly stated. He described California's failing schools and hostile business environment, caught between complete mismanagement and bureaucratic gridlock.
He's blinking, and then eventually the camera guy, realizing that he's signaling him, so he gets appalled, leans back, camera comes down, and then we're back to this. I'll do this for you, you do this for me a little. So he's saying whatever he's going to say. There it is, see? They couldn't hold him back. He's like, I'm not on film. Oh, I'm not, nope. Bring my hands up, bring him up, bring him up, bring him up, bring him up. He's playing with us. Meet me at my house, you get mine, I get yours, it'll work.
Newsom's approach? Additional photo opportunities, attractive social posts, more misdirection tactics. Tyrus didn't need performance. His statements carried tremendous impact while maintaining calm delivery. He could dismantle PR strategies effortlessly that he exposed not just flawed policies, but the entire facade of appearance-focused, achievement-like governance that persists on applause despite minimal results. Then both hosts combined forces with remarkable intensity. Almost theatrical, but entirely authentic and electrifying. Finally, national television voiced what countless Californians had been expressing privately. Gutfeld delivered sharp critiques about failed economic policies dressed as progress. Tyrus dispensed harsh truths like final notices, direct, conclusive, unavoidable. Newsom stood there visibly stunned, as though his prepared responses had vanished, clearly unprepared for this exposure.
Evil, then the Dems are now the party of disorder. Turns out the only system they had was wokeism, and it rotted any basic principles the party had to begin with. Which is why, like Gavin himself, they're left looking at 2028's hopes going up in flames. And this time, no one is going to help them put it out.
He remained motionless, polished, yet utterly unprepared. That's when everything evolved beyond entertainment into genuine accountability. This wasn't typical late-night content. It was methodical deconstruction of a carefully marketed image. Not vindictive, but absolutely overdue. They systematically dismantled the Newsom mythology piece by piece, like removing attractive covering from a structurally compromised building. All aesthetic, no substance. You can orchestrate elaborate events and stage endless appearances. But when underlying reality contradicts the presentation, truth must emerge. And it did, delivered with satirical edge.
Have gone tremendously to the right on this issue in 2024 and 2025 versus where they were in 2020. Closest to a trust war in immigration. You go back to 2020. Democrats, get this, held a 32-point lead on this issue. Immigrant voters were in the Democratic camp. Jump forward to 2024, 2025. Look at that shift, a 40-point shift to the right among immigrant voters. Republicans now lead on this issue by 8 points over Democrats.
It makes sense. If you waited your turn, why would you be happy about a bunch of jerks cutting the line? So why are the Dems and the media shocked by this? Well, because unlike the left, immigrants don't shout their beliefs every time there's a break in conversation. Hell, I rarely even flex my muscles unless it's a conversation about my muscles.
Gutfeld brought documentation alongside humor. California's economic figures look impressive statistically, but actual working families struggle with basic affordability. Numbers may impress financial analysts, but everyday people face real hardship. He didn't hesitate articulating this disconnect, that he highlighted absurdities. Newsom positioning as environmental leader, while annual wildfires devastate large areas. Difficult advocating planetary salvation when your state literally burns seasonally. During climate photo sessions, destruction continues expanding. Then the contradictions. Publicly criticizing corporations until wealthy contributors arrive. Then suddenly he's camera-ready with handshakes and hollow social media statements. Nothing says champion of ordinary people like exclusive gatherings with ultra-wealthy donors.
Impersonator. Do you think after this riot fest, he is still an option for 2028?
Yeah, he just has to keep, he thinks he's going to charm people over by just kind of agreeing with them. He'll start every sentence, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. They'll make a point, he has people on his podcast, they destroy his point of view. I appreciate that. And I'm going to look at that. I'm going to have a look at that. I can't even believe, there's so many good things in that monologue, Greg. I love that clip of CNN. I can't believe they have that guy. It's like self-flagellation.
Meanwhile, Tyrus remained composed yet devastating, demolishing Newsom's claimed ethical superiority effortlessly. You cannot authentically represent working people while suffocating small businesses with regulations, simultaneously maintaining relationships with major developers, funding your campaigns. That Newsom's brand depends entirely on appearance, like a fashion spread gaining consciousness and political ambition. Styled presentation, designer wardrobe, calculated expressions suggesting authenticity. Pure theater, polished, rehearsed, fundamentally hollow. When confronted with reality, that performance collapsed completely. His image was dissected on live television, struck repeatedly by documented facts. Not subjective opinion, verifiable consequences. Gutfeld presented statistics, documented scandals, and street-level problems so effectively it could trigger handler panic. Each point delivered with precision and confidence of possessing irrefutable proof.
Phony. Phony. I'm totally weird. Gavin times. It's time for Gavin times.
Keeps his hands in motion and his hair full of lotion. True, Gavin's views may be idiotic, but his hands move. Well, they're hypnotic. California Governor Newsom's new podcast is out. It's available wherever fine hair care products are.
Tyrus spoke calmly, steady, armed with unfiltered truth. No volume increase necessary. He simply explained authentic leadership doesn't preach compassion while implementing harmful policies and allowing public deterioration. No theatrics, just quiet honesty resonating powerfully. Just when observers expected restraint, acceleration instead. Gutfeld intensified, incinerating constant virtue signaling, buzzword saturation, hollow gestures disguised as governance. Like witnessing someone attempt inspirational speech using incoherent notes while facing direct contradiction. Tyrus followed, perpetually composed, combining wisdom with enforcement, controlled and devastating. He questioned not just Newsom's leadership, but continued acceptance of it. He exposed how working families receive empty slogans, while California's privileged access private education, secured neighborhoods, and taxpayer advantages.
Noisy in the city. Charlie, is he talking with his hands, or is this some kind of distraction maneuver?
I think, okay, well, I'm Italian, and I talk with my hands. I'm doing it right now. They have lives of their own. And I have never seen someone, to the extent that Gavin Newsom just spoke with his hands, do anything like that. So, I mean, congratulations, I suppose. Diversion tactic, yes, maybe. Because you think, if people are so focused on his hands, they're not listening to what he...
Gutfeld compared California's governance to giving children dangerous implements and labeling it innovation. The studio erupted, but Tyrus remained expressionless, simply acknowledging long overdue truth finally spoken publicly to be my conclusion. It transcended typical television. It resembled witnessing an actual trial. Newsom wasn't just accused. He was the evidence itself that California's deteriorating infrastructure, damaged roads, failing power systems, struggling public services, that Newsom's continuous positive media presence, acting as if systemic problems don't exist. Young generations abandoning the state because basic costs became prohibitive. The verdict: unfiltered honesty on live television. For once, bypassing standard political filtering. That if you appreciated this breakdown, subscribe. This story continues developing.
So Newsom is fed up with tent cities, the crime, the urban decay? No, he's not mad about that stuff. He's mad you noticed. It's like a criminal telling a jury he's sorry he robbed 25 banks when he's just sorry he got caught on the 26th. Because this isn't some spontaneous crisis. It's a man-made disaster like Chernobyl or Fox and Friends. And
They like the show, okay?
And the man who made it acts like he had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
It's pure government grift, shoving you down a flight of stairs and then making you pay for the handrail. We've been lied to for years that homelessness is all about affordable housing.